я представляю вам нашего гостя, который баллотируется в Йорк-центре. Это Марк Адлер. Добрый день, Марк.
I'm very glad to be here. Thank you.
In Russian?
Доброе утро.
Доброе утро. Видите, наши гости уже начинают говорить по-русски, это здорово, и поэтому я задаю первый вопрос нашему гостю, и он звучит так. Чем отличается платформа консервативной партии от других платформ? В чем ее, как бы, притягательная сторона? Platform Conservative Party.
That's a very good question, and there is a very big difference between the coalition partners and their platform and the Conservative Party of Canada and their platform. The Conservative Party platform is entitled Here for Canada, and it is based on 5 objectives. Number 1, creating jobs through training, through apprenticeship, and through low taxes and trade, number 1. Number 2, the platform is based on supporting families through the family tax cut. Now, let me just add that the average family is now paying $3,000 less in taxes as a result of the Harper tax cuts over the last 5 years. The third pillar of the Here for Canada platform is eliminating the deficit by 2014-15 fiscal year. The fourth is making our streets safe for the elderly and for our children. And the fifth plank in our platform is support for the military and protection of the sovereignty of Canada, particularly in the north, and providing our military with the necessary equipment that they need to do their job effectively.
Скажем, понятна платформа консервативной партии, и я хочу задать вам следующий вопрос тогда. Министр Харпер сказал, что если выберут снова, консерваторы принесут изменения в нашу систему. Какие изменения, what the change is very important, какие изменения важны с точки зрения консервативной партии? Что она принесет нового?
This past weekend, Prime Minister Harper announced a number of measures on the crime agenda. One of them was to protect seniors from elder abuse, and the second one was to if a majority Conservative government is achieved on May the 2nd, to introduce legislation that will eliminate concurrent sentences. So, for example, a serial killer who is convicted of a number of murders will not be in the future allowed to serve one sentence for the number of murders he's committed, but he will serve successive sentences for the number of murders that he has committed or she has committed. The Harper government is very committed to making sure that the punishment fits the crime, and that is a very important plank in the Conservative platform going forward. Conservative Party, Stephen Harper, is very committed to making sure that the victims of crime are looked after and not the perpetrators of the crime.
Сейчас консервативная партия все более и более завоевывает свои позиции. More strong in GTA.
Yes.
Why? Why? What's happened?
It's quite striking. Just sort of by way of background, I own a company called the Economic Club, and we host policymakers and business leaders and politicians when they have important speeches to deliver. They come to us, and we host them for the big speech. We recently expanded our business to Hong Kong, and business leaders in Hong Kong and government leaders in Hong Kong were very, very interested in hearing about the Canadian success story. They weren't interested in hearing about the U.S. or about Europe or South America. What they were very curious about was Canada. And that speaks certainly a lot to the recognition that Canada has received around the world as having one of the most successful economies coming out of the greatest recessions we've experienced since the Great Depression. And we certainly owe a lot to the Economic Action Plan, which was brought in under the leadership of Stephen Harper and Minister of Finance Jim Flaherty. And Canadians are in a much better position today as being the last country into the recession and being the first country out of the recession than most other G8 and G20 countries. You know, we're recognized around the world by the Economist Intelligence Unit, by the World Economic Forum, by the International Monetary Fund as having the most stable economy of G8, G20 countries. And that's no coincidence. That's really no coincidence. That is a result of the steady leadership of Stephen Harper and the Conservative Party of Canada.
Действительно, наверное, экономическая ситуация в Канаде наиболее стабильная в мире, и это результат политики и деятельности правительства Харпера. И что говорят вам избиратели, когда вы с ними встречаетесь? Какие самые главные вопросы они задают? О чем думают ваши избиратели, когда они к вам обращаются? Какие их проблемы?
Well, what I'm hearing at the doors, and I've been at this now for 9 months, since I first received the nomination. What is the most important issue for people is the economy. We have come out of this recession, on the verge of coming out of this recession, with a very fragile recovery. And now we're into an unnecessary election foisted upon us by coalition partners in Parliament, which is a waste of close to $400 million, which does not create one single job. And what people are telling me at the door, and it doesn't matter what cultural community it happens to be, it's the economy. Why are we having this completely unnecessary election? We were on the right course. Our economy was recovering the way it needs to recover under the leadership of Stephen Harper, and yet we're into an election. The fourth election in 7 years. And if we do not elect a majority Conservative government on May the 2nd, so we can stay the course and make our economy stable and secure, then the coalition will lead us down a road of tax and spend and a future of uncertainty.
Я думаю, что наши зрители оценили, что главная экономика, и на самом деле это действительно так. Если у людей есть работа, это здорово. И my next question. Все больше, не очень большой на самом деле процент людей ходят голосовать, говорит статистика. Как вы думаете, как заставить людей более активными быть? Что вы для этого делаете? И как вы в своем округе это делаете?
Yes. You know, again, it's when I go door to door and I go to community events, people are asking the question, you know, why are we having this election? Mark, why are we having this election? It's an excellent question. It's an excellent question. And people understand, this is the fourth election in 7 years. People understand that, you know, the economy was on the right track. Stephen Harper was doing all of the right things. Jobs were being created. We recovered all the jobs that we've lost during the recession. And people are questioning, you know, why are we having another election, the fourth in 7 years? The key for them, and they understand this, is that we need to elect a majority Conservative government on May the 2nd. Or else we're going to be continuing in this trend of unnecessary and wasteful elections, jeopardizing our future economic recovery, which is fragile right now. And with all of the events that are happening around the world, you know, from Libya to Japan, and what we don't see on the horizon at the moment, what could possibly pop up, in this fragile economic time, people are very, very concerned. And their number one concern is the economy, and that Stephen Harper was on the right course, and it was being jeopardized now by the Liberals, the NDP, and the Bloc Québécois, in the hope that they could engineer a coalition government under the leadership of Michael Ignatieff after the election to overturn the results of an election if there is a minority government that's elected on May the 2nd. That's unacceptable. People understand that, and Canadians do not want that.
Я спросил моего гостя, как он оценивает свою позицию в своем регионе и готов ли он?
Well, you know what, we are certainly ready, and the people of York Centre, like the people across Canada, you know, don't understand why again we're having this totally unnecessary and wasteful election, and they want to stay the course. And on May the 2nd, if I'm so honored to be elected as a member of parliament to serve in the Conservative government of Canada under the leadership of Stephen Harper, it's so important that we continue to move towards creating a stable economy, not only in New York Centre, but across Canada, and continue to have a country that is really the shining light on the hill, the pride of the world. So all other nations look upon us and are very curious as to know, how did Canada do it? Why is Canada so successful? What's Canada doing right? And, under the leadership of Stephen Harper on May 2nd, we're looking forward to winning a majority government and continuing on the movement towards creating a stable economy here in Canada.
Спасибо. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Уважаемые телезрители, у нас в гостях был Марк Адлер, Йорк-центр, выборы на носу, и мне показалось, что акцент на экономику достаточно правильный, и консервативная партия вполне может получить большинство в парламенте. И я хочу пожелать Марку успеха на этом пути. Марк, good luck.
Thank you very
much. Good luck, and увидимся в студии после выборов.
Thank you very much. Thank you.